Continuing from the previous episode 495. New Dong? The Snake King's pupils shrank tightly, obviously not understanding why this new Dong dared to show up at this time. Here, at this time, they have gathered almost the peak powerhouses of the Medusa clan, as well as Zhu Jin, a half-immortal powerhouse, 6 8-star Do Emperors, 2 9-star Dowyers, and 2 half-immortal powerhouses. Is this angry East is the brain water? No, he and New Dong have known each other for many years. This person will never be aimless. He dares to come today, and he must have something to rely on. The Snake King's pupils were turning rapidly. These people are not. Although most of them are 7-star and 8-star fighting emperors, there is nothing strange about them. The Snake King shook his head slightly and looked at the subordinates around New Dong. The next moment, the Snake King's pupils suddenly became dignified. Because at this time, when the Snake King glanced at the figure of Na, who was surrounded by black energy, beside New Dong, a strong sense of crisis emerged from the man in black. Susu, the strength of the mere rank 4, you also want to explore this protector? Under the black robe of the man in black, a gloomy voice came. As soon as the voice fell, a strange black mist emerged from the body of the man in black, and then attacked the Snake King. Just as the black mist emerged from the body of the man in black, it turned into a jet black chain with swarthy black. The pitch black chain suddenly came out of the black fog, and the speed was extremely fast, with the slightest sound of breaking wind, and came to the Snake King in an instant. Xinya 81 Zhang Wian Wang U, Kai 8.1 ZS, Koem. At this time, the Snake King had already squandered a lot of fighting chi in his body, and a chill surged into his heart. He knew that if he was hit by this strange dark chain, he would have to shed a layer of skin if he didn't die. Humph! Zhu Jin snorted coldly, and an invisible wave instantly hit the dark chain. Boom boom boom! The dark chains erupted with dazzling cold light, and then directly shook the invisible fluctuations of Zhu Jin back. The next moment, the dark chain swept up at a speed, and instantly came to 3 feet in front of the Snake King. Bastard! The Snake King was sweating profusely, and when he was about to start his Do Chi defense, his pale palm directly held the dark chain firmly. Who are you? Zhu Jin appeared strangely beside the snake tribe, holding the dark chain in his hand, and then spoke directly. However, above the dark chains, gloomy black chi kept emerging, trying to erode Zhu Lao. How could Zhu Lao let this black chi succeed? Immediately, the aura was suddenly mentioned, and the power of monstrous thunder emerged, and then directly against the dark air. It's dangerous. The Snake King was shocked, and then wiped the sweat from his forehead. At this moment, the dark chain's blade was standing 2 meters in front of the Snake King. If the bamboo embers were half a second late, I am afraid that the Snake King's head would be directly pierced by the dark and sharp chain in an instant. Susu, worthy of being a semi-immortal level powerhouse. Under the black robe of the man in black, there was a strange sneer, and the voice was sometimes near and sometimes far away. But, now let me see how you will deal with it. The next moment, the man in black sneered. With the laughter of the man in black, the dark chain that Zhu Jin held firmly in the palm of his hand suddenly burst into a monstrous black light, making the sky that had recovered to be bright instantly gloomy. Small trick of carving insects. Zhu Jin snorted coldly, and then the power of silver-white thunder emerged, firmly suppressing the monstrous black light in his hands. Boom boom boom! The next moment, the silver-white power of thunder and black light exploded instantly. The heat wave went round and round, causing the temperature of this space to soar. The other 8 leaders on the side looked at Zhu Jin, and the space where Zhu Jin was located became blurred and distorted due to the temperature. Damn, where did this New Dong find his helper, and his strength can actually be tied with Zhu Jin at the half-immortal level. Although it was just a simple trick, but with the old eyes of Shefu, it is not difficult to see some things. This man in black can rely on his own strength to fight against Zhu Jin, who has Xuanling's first battle formation master, and his strength is naturally a half-immortal. Moreover, the black chi on the man in black was extremely eerie, making Shefu shiver slightly. However, the weird black chi on this man in black seems to be exactly the same as the black chi on Qin Tian's body just now, and even the intensity of the black chi in this man in black is even more terrifying than Qin Tian. Shefu said slightly. Bang bang bang. After a simple fight, Zhu Jin and the man in black each stepped aside. But what shocked old Zhu was that the strange black energy on the man in black was extremely terrifying, and the power of thunder on Zhu Jin's body trembled slightly. Nu Dong, you are so courageous. How dare you join forces with outsiders to interfere in the affairs of our Medusa family? Shefu stood upright with a withered body and angrily faced the burly host. Shefu, others don't know it, but I do know that you hold the blue and white snake and the 9-colored swallowing python that entered the temple this time very highly. If it weren't for the appearance of the 9-colored swallowing python this time, I am afraid that the supreme ruler of our Medusa family would be a blue and white snake. I believe this is obvious to all of you. But now the blue and white snake has been abandoned. I'm afraid the future king of the Medusa family will be replaced. Nu Dong raised his head slightly, then stared at the snake and said. In the past, Nu Dong had to avoid this snake by 3 points. After all, her strength could be called the strongest among the Medusa clan. But now it's different. With this powerful man in black from the Soul Palace by his side, Nu Dong's confidence is also full. Just after Nu Dong finished speaking, the pupils of several of the 8 leaders behind Shefu changed, apparently agreeing with Nu Dong's words. I will naturally seek justice for Zhao King in this matter. However, Nu Dong, it's time for you to still think about the ruling position of my Medusa clan. Your character is linked to broken www.novelmtl.com. Is no longer suitable for our Medusa family, and now I announce that you will be deprived of your position as the leader of the Avengers tribe, and you will be arrested and dealt with by clan rules. Shefu said. Dropped, the voice said solemnly. It doesn't matter. This time, as long as I clean up the Medusa family who disobeyed me, I will naturally take over the rest. And I believe that under my rule, the Medusa family will definitely be more prosperous than before. Ha ha ha. Nu Dong laughed suddenly, a monstrous smile emerged. Everyone, please don't stand in the wrong team. Shefu seemed to have noticed that the man and woman who had colluded with Nu Dong had some other thoughts behind him, and immediately spoke up. Forget it. One man and one woman among the 8 leaders also quieted down at the next moment, because they knew that once they stood in the wrong place, they would never turn around. Why so much nonsense? Do it! The man in black's gloomy voice came from under the black robe, and then suddenly echoed between heaven and earth. Go! The 8 chiefs are handed over to me. As for the 2 semi-immortal powerhouses, I'm afraid they will trouble you. Nu Dong said respectfully, because he knew that after today's battle, the king and the bandit will definitely be defeated. Susu. 2 semi-immortal powerhouses. Under the black robes of the man in black, an eerie black mist emerged, and then directly covered the entire body. A mass of black fog, impenetrable, like the source of all evil. Ask for tickets. End of this chapter. Continuing from the previous episode 496. This man in black is not easy, Zhu Jin said in a deep voice. Obviously, even with Zhu Jin Bengshan's strength, it would be a little tricky to deal with this man in black, let alone Shefu. Go! In the next moment, Nu Dong took the people around him to attack instantly, not giving the 8 leaders a chance to breathe. The little abacus in Nu Dong's heart was quite good, because these 8 leaders, just after the battle with Qin Tian, the fighting spirit in their bodies all floated up. The most important thing is that they are not at their peak. During the battle, too much power was consumed, so Nu Dong dared to do it. What Ling Nu Dong didn't expect was that a half-immortal bamboo ember in the burning incense pavilion was actually killed halfway along the way. The strength of a half-immortal, even in this mysterious 3 days, can directly walk sideways, and there is no sect that will say a word. If it wasn't for the person from the Soul Palace beside him who said he was sure, he would not dare to attack rashly if he gave 10 courage to Nu Dong, because if he failed, the situation of Nu Dong would be doomed. You stop them, the man in black, Zhu Jin, and I will solve it. Shefu said slightly, and a feeling of being strong outside and doing in the middle emerged in the hearts of the 8 leaders. Lord Shefu, are you all right? Mei Lan said, obviously a little worried. It's all right. You guys just used up a lot of strength, so it shouldn't be a big problem to deal with Nu Dong's group. Shefu didn't stop after finishing speaking, skipped the desert and came to the sky. Zhu Jin and the man in black suddenly raised their breaths, and they also rose into the sky. You, the 8 leaders of Medusa, are not the opponents of Nu Dong's group. If the 2 of you don't spare your hands to help them, I'm afraid your 9 major Medusa tribes will decrease a lot today. The black air spread into the sky, making the already unclear sky a bit weird. It won't make you worry about it. Shefu faced this strange man in black. His momentum did not weaken in the slightest, and he escaped an elixir from his hand, and then his eyes flashed a bit of fleshy pain. Without hesitation, directly swallow it. Following the swallowing of this medicinal pill, the vindictive energy in Shefu's body quickly recovered, nearly 50% in a short period of time. It's only 50%. Seeing this, Zhu Jin opened his mouth slightly. Well, this person is not easy to deal with. Shefu turned his head and said to Zhu Jin after hearing this. It seems that today will be a rather grand harvest. Su. In the black mist, it suddenly condensed into the appearance of a man in black, but the face of the man in black was shrouded in black, tightly revealing a pair of scarlet eyes. Then let's have a feast of death. The black mist suddenly turned into a human figure, and then the man in black roared, and his voice was full of killing intent. My Medusa family's territory, how can you be arrogant? A deep voice emerged from Shefu's mouth, and the voice was also full of huge anger and killing intent. Give me some time. Zhu Jin and Shefu's soul power instantly communicated, and then Shefu nodded slightly. Fighting formation division, the most powerful thing is not fighting with people, and with excellent mental power, he engraves a very responsible formation, so as to achieve the effect of attacking, defending or killing the enemy. Take your life. The man in black roared, and then he stopped talking nonsense, and a monstrous black light erupted around the figure in an instant. With the appearance of this black light, in the sky at this time, there are already 5 fingers out of sight, and the man in black is also strangely invisible. Are you invisible? Shefu said slightly, and then the withered palm suddenly clenched a fist, and then pushed extremely hard toward the void on the left side of his body. Boom boom boom. At the next moment, the void that Shefu attacked was still void in the first second, but then the next second, the figure of the man in black appeared instantly, and then the terrifying fist hit the man in black. Dark chains. Choke. Above Shefu's fist, a majestic force of life and death covered it, and then made a shocking sound with the chain wrapped in dark air. Bang bang bang. The first battle between the two, in the center of the battle, terrifying black and white ripples continued to spread everywhere. Su, worthy of being the strongest of the Medusa clan. The man in black also smiled grimly, apparently not thinking that he could kill Shefu with this blow. Otherwise the Snakefu is the strongest of the Medusa clan. Bangshan's strength is too ridiculous. Drink. The man in black drank abruptly, and then the dark chain wrapped around his hand disappeared instantly, replaced by a strange black gas. Bang bang bang. Shefu's fist with a terrifying strong wind hit the strange black chi in the next moment, like hitting a soft sponge on a sponge, and then the strange black chi disappeared instantly. Chuck. At the next moment, above Shefu's head, a dark chain and the figure of a man in black appeared. This time, a cold light appeared at the sharp edge of the dark chain, as if a single blow could kill it. Snake is dead. Shabu. The offensive in Shefu's hands was not over yet, and the man in black appeared on top of his head, causing Shefu's pressure to increase immediately. However, Shefu was not hesitant either. The dragon rod in his hand, which had some gaps in it, suddenly lifted up, and instantly attacked with the dark chain. Boom boom boom. The sharp edge of the black chain directly touched the snake head of the Jiao python staff. Shabu shabu. The dark chain with a shocking wind attacked viciously on the Jiao python staff. The offensive in Shefu's hands ended in an instant, and then his hands were struggling to support the Jiao python staff, and a tremendous pressure suddenly emerged from the sharp edge of the dark chain. Ha ha ha. Shefu, don't die. Under the black robe of the man in black, a gloomy smile came out, and then he increased the strength in his hands. Damn it. Shefu shouted link to www.novelmtl.com and then let out a great deal of vindictiveness, but for this reason, his figure was slowly forced back by the man in black. Even holding the Jiao python staff in his hand was quite difficult. If I was at my peak, I'm afraid I still have the power to fight. Now, I'm still too reluctant. Shefu smiled bitterly in his heart. Xinya 81 Zhang Weian Wang U, Kai 8, approximately 1 ZS. Koem. This is not to blame for Shefu. After all, after the battle with Qin Tian just now, the fighting spirit in Shefu's body was almost exhausted. If he hadn't taken a pill to restore 50% of his power, he would have been defeated by the man in black. Snake Fu, who was struggling to support, turned to look at Zhu Jin behind him. At this time, Zhu Jin had a silver-white scroll on top of his head, and above his head, a force that seemed to be substantive rapidly poured into the silver-white scroll. Looking up slightly, Shefu saw that on the silver-white scroll, one after another extremely complex runes emerged, and then when the pupil just saw the silver-white scroll, a fear emerged. Is that the power of the formation condensed by the Do Formation Master? Shefu's offensive is coming to an end. After a while, he will be completely defeated by the man in black, but his mouth is slightly open. Your mouth. The man in black didn't know why the Shefu was distracted by the battle, so he followed Shefu's gaze. A silver-white scroll exuding mysterious power was located above the bamboo embers, and then the scarlet pupils of the man in black shrank suddenly. The power of a battle formation master? Ask for tickets. End of this chapter. Continuing from the previous episode 497. As soon as the man in black finished speaking, under his body covered by the black robe, a fear from the depths of his soul emerged. Because the idea of the man in black just now was to defeat this Shefu first. After all, after the battle just now, Shefu already had a lot of injuries in his body, and his vindictive energy was exhausted, so it was better to deal with it. So far he forgot about Zhu Jin. Zhu Jin is known as the first battle formation master in the entire Zan Santian. As long as you give Zhu Jin enough time, let alone a half-immortal, I am afraid that all three can be easily dealt with. This is the horror of a battle formation master. Susu. I actually forgot about this bamboo ember. Under the black robe, an awe-inspiring killing intent emerged. Humph. Seeing this, Shefu immediately completed the task of delaying time. His figure suddenly shook, and a terrifying change of strength dissipated the offensive of the man in black. No matter where you are holy, be imprisoned in my minefield. At the next moment, Zhu Jin's pupils behind Shefu suddenly opened, and a monstrous fighting spirit permeated out, and with it came an extremely huge spiritual power. Shabu Shabu. As Zhu Jin opened his eyes, the silver-white scroll above his head suddenly burst out with a very bright light, and then a rather mysterious force separated from the silver-white scroll, and then faced the man in black exploded from where he was. Damn, I can't even move. After Shefu broke free from his own attack, the man in black simply gave up the idea of attacking Shefu, because the Shefu at this time was already at the end of the line. The people in black are quite afraid. An invisible force separated from the silver-white scroll, and then a dazzling light suddenly wrapped the man in black, causing the man in black to slow down. Thunderfield. Ning. Zhu Jin's pupils shrank tightly, and an extremely terrifying birthday black and asterisk emerged in those eyes, and then the power on the silver-white scroll began to squirm around the man in black. What kind of power is this? The man in black found that no matter what he did, he couldn't break through the dazzling light. Immediately, there was a trace of surprise under the black robe, and then there was a hint of hesitation in the scarlet pupils. Shabu! Just when the man in black hesitated, the dazzling light instantly wrapped the man in black, and then a strange silver light appeared in the space of nearly a few hundred meters around the man in black. Is this the Thunder Territory? Legend has it that Zhu Jin's battle formation master has several formations that are enough to threaten the real battle immortal powerhouse. This Thunder Territory formation is one of them. The power of the Thunder attribute has been domineering since ancient times. With the paralyzing power in the Thunder, I am afraid that this man in black will suffer. Shefu immediately retreated. When he came to the side, he stared at Zhu Jin, who was at a stalemate with the man in black, and spoke slowly. Susu. I didn't expect it to be calculated. The man in black was in the thunder field array at this time, and thunderstorms of dozens of meters continued to emerge in the thunder field array, exuding extreme terror from there. In the fluctuating power of thunder, the men in black felt a great pressure. The identity of the first battle formation master in Xuanling Santian is really extraordinary. The man in black said gloomily, but there was a hint of vigilance in his voice. People in black have to be careful. Leiyu, purify all things. Evil power, hurry back and disperse. Zhu Jin's majestic voice filled the entire sky, and then his figure flashed instantly, and disappeared into the sky the next moment. When Du appeared, he had already entered the thunder field array. Among them, Master the Formation Center. Susu, Zhu Jin, your status as the #1 battle formation master in Xuantingshan, this protector has to admit that it is extremely terrifying, but if you think that you want to subdue me by relying on the mere formation, then it is nothing short of fantastic. The man in black said hideously. Subdue? Ha ha ha. People from the ghost world are also worthy of saying such things to our people from Xuanling? You people from the ghost realm have brutally killed countless human beings in our Xuanling days. This time I just avenged those who died. Zhu Jin was hidden in the thunderfield array hundreds of meters away, and the voice came from the thunderfield. It spread around in the middle, so that the man in black could not tell the exact location of Zhu Jin. Then come on. Let you know that the people of my ghost world are not comparable to those of you Xuanling. As for those who died, they have been absorbed by us and turned into a part of our power. Xinya 81 Zhang Huiyan Wang U, Kai 8, approximately 1 ZS, Koem, ha ha ha. After the man in black finished speaking, the body covered by the black robe instantly trembled, and then the next moment, a monstrous black light suddenly erupted, and then the figure of the man in black disappeared without a trace, replaced by a very strange black fog. In the black mist, there were terrifying fluctuations, and above the black mist, a pair of scarlet pupils emerged. At the moment when the pair of scarlet pupils appeared, the terror around them exuded a chilling air. Sure enough, he is from the ghost realm, but why do I feel something is wrong? Zhu Jin hid in the thunderfield formation, and his figure kept moving, in order to prevent the ghost realm from finding his position. Susu. In the black mist, countless grievances and howls made the already mysterious identity of the man in black even more confusing. Although this person has a very strong ghost energy, he doesn't look like a person from the ghost world. What is this person's identity? Zhu Jin quickly thought about it. Obviously, Zhu Jin had fought against the creatures in the ghost world and some powerful ghosts more or less, but he had never seen such a black-clothed person since ancient times. People exist like this, so they hesitated about the identity of the man in black. Shabu. Just when Zhu Jin hesitated to think, in the thunder field array, a dazzling thunder with a size of dozens of meters was possessed from directly above the thunder field array. That weird black mist burst out. Vulnerable. In the black fog, a strange voice emerged, and then a monstrous dark chain suddenly appeared in the strange black fog. Above the dark chains, a rather dazzling power of black and white emerged. Then a dazzling cold light flickered out from the sharp edge of the dark chain link to www.novelmtl.com, and then suddenly hit the power of thunder with a terrifying fighting spirit. Boom boom boom! The power of thunder collided with the chain, and an extremely terrifying power burst out in an instant, but fortunately this wave was in the thunder field array, so it did not spread too far, but it still broke out amazing. The fluctuation caused the group of people who were fighting on the desert ground to stop their movements and looked up at the area in the sky that was shrouded in silver-white light. Is this person from the Soul Palace reliable? One person to deal with two half-immortals. This is a bit too much. Next to Nu Dong, an 8-star fighting emperor with quite good strength said. Don't worry, he should be free to take countermeasures, after all, he is a man of that power. When Nu Dong heard the words, he immediately glanced at the subordinates beside him. Hopefully, the 8-star Do Di Zodiac said, and then stared at the 8 leaders of Medusa in front of him. If it wasn't for the fact that these 8 leaders had just lost their strength in the battle with Qin Tian, I'm afraid the Angdong people would not be able to handle it, but even so, it would be quite difficult for the Angdong people to deal with the leaders of the 8 Medusa tribes. Who is this man in black, who can actually fight against 2 semi-immortal powerhouses with one person's strength, even though Shefu's strength is only 50%? Mobile said hesitantly, let's get rid of this gang of Angry East as soon as possible, otherwise it will change later. The Snake King's pupils shrank suddenly, and for some reason, he felt a wave of extreme fear from the strange black mist in the thunder field array. Ask for tickets. End of this chapter. Continuing from the previous episode 498. Susu. Worthy of being bamboo ember. In the thunder field array, the scarlet eyes in the black mist burst into a dazzling light, and then directly retracted the dark chain back into the black mist. The short blow just now seemed to be a tie, but only He Wu knew that it was clear that he was the loser. At this time, he was already in Zhu Jin's formation. In this formation, Zhu Jin's strength has been infinitely amplified, and I am afraid that it is close to a real fighting immortal powerhouse. Half-immortal and do-immortal, these are completely different concepts. A semi-immortal strong man, the power of life and death has already been born in his body. Although it blends, he has never taken that step. Life and death are in perfect harmony. Integrate yourself into heaven and earth. At that time, you will be able to overturn rivers and seas on the upper plane of Duty Continent, and throw rocks and landslides with your hands. Moreover, the birth, aging, sickness and death between heaven and earth can no longer be bound, and at that time, we can achieve the same longevity with heaven. This is the real horror of a fighting immortal powerhouse. Xinya 81 Zhang Wian Wang U. Kai 8.1 ZS. Koem, Shefu, you go down and manage the infighting of your Medusa clan, it's enough to have me here. Zhu Jin, like the asterisk of thunder, said slowly in the thunder field array. Be careful, this guy is not a fuel-efficient lamp. Shefu responded, and immediately his figure burst into the air, because she knew that at this time, her fighting spirit in her body was no longer enough to support this half-immortal level terrifying battle. Staying here will only make Zhu Jin more difficult, so he simply went down to quell the infighting of the Medusa family. Susu, Zhu Jin, you are so confident that you want to subdue me with your own strength? In the space where the sky was shrouded by the silver-white thunder field formation, a cloud of black mist let out a sneer. Lei Ting has been the nemesis of this strange black qi in you since ancient times, so I have full confidence in subduing you. Zhu Jin heard the words, and immediately did not evade, and directly appeared on the opposite side of the black fog. In that body, a perfect blend of black and asterisk of life and death, a black and white roe deer makes the body surrounded by the power of thunder extremely conspicuous. Then let's try it, it's your power of thunder, or it's my soul clan. In the strange black fog, an extreme wave suddenly appeared, and then in the terrifying black fog, 3 branches surrounded by dark black energy instantly appeared. Chains. Above the chain, where the sharp blade is, there are bursts of cold light, like a magical weapon that can kill people in an instant. Soul Clan? With the voice coming out of the black mist, Zhu Jin's body trembled suddenly, and then calmed down again. The word, Soul Clan, represents and what kind of power, Zhu Jin is very clear. The overall strength of the Soul Clan. I am afraid that the 4 continents above the Btth continent are the existences that many people are afraid of. Because their Soul Clan is extremely mysterious, but they are very low-key, and there have never been any scandals, but every time a strong Soul Clan shows up, they can instantly become famous all over the world and become famous. Damn it. The strength of this man in black may be on par with me. He is only a semi-immortal strong man, but if he is really a Soul Clan, I am afraid even I have to be afraid of him. But how can he have such a strange black body in his body? Gas? This black air is clearly a ghost. The attack used by this mysterious man is quite similar to that of the Soul Clan. Could it be that he is confusing people or? Zhu Jin hesitated a little, because he knew that the energy of this Soul Clan was so great that he was afraid that in the entire Btth continent, it would be a one-handed existence. Susu. In the strange black mist, a pair of scarlet pupils instantly burst out with a gloomy cold light, and then the 3 dark chains around the body moved, the speed skyrocketed, and blasted away at the bamboo embers. Humph! I don't care who you are, old man, this place is our territory after all. After a brief thought, old Zhu seemed to have made a decision and roared at the strange black mist. As soon as Zhu Lao's words fell, the thunder power in his body quickly flowed over his body like spring water. Following this flow, a trace of black energy slowly appeared in Zhu Lao's body. If you don't pay attention to this trace of black energy, I am afraid it will cause a lot of damage to Zhu Jin. After doing all this, the 3 chains with dazzling black energy have arrived at Zhu Laoyun, and the blades of the chains are all pointing at Zhu Lao, as if they can directly penetrate Zhu Lao's body in the next moment. 3 thunders hit the sky. A loud shout suddenly emerged from Zhu Lao's mouth. The sound of terrifying coercion instantly reverberated in the entire thunder field array, making the power of thunder in this space become extremely manic. Shabu shabu. The next moment, countless silver-white fighting chi suddenly emerged from all directions of the thunder field array, and then quickly formed directly in front of Zhu Lao. All the power of thunder gathered in front of Zhu Lao, and then those powers of thunder seemed to have life. When they saw that the black chain had 3 strands, the power of thunder was instantly divided into 3 strands. Saying it's too late is fast. In a short moment, in front of the old Xu, 3 dazzling thunder pillars connecting the entire space of the thunder field array appeared impressively. Go! Elder Xu knew that although he didn't know where the black mist was sacred, he must not underestimate these 3 chains, otherwise he would only suffer. Following old Xu's order, the back of his hand swiped at the 3 black chains, and the 3 dazzling thunder pillars in front of the old Xu suddenly swept away with a terrifying aura. It is the 3 dark chains. Boom, boom, boom. In a breath of time, the attacks of the 2 exploded directly in the slightest. The 3 dark chains burst out with extremely harsh screams, and then above the chains, a breath of dead people permeated out, making the space of the thunder field formation look a little desolate. However, the strange black energy above the chain was slowly swallowed by the power of thunder above the thunder pillar. As for the 3 pillars of link to thunder www.novelmtl.com, when they were attacking with the black chains, the power of the thunder all over the body continued to erode the black energy, causing the black energy on the black chains. The gas is greatly reduced immediately. Looking at you, it seems like you can't beat me now. Seeing that his attack was successful, Xu Lao did not smile at all, but in those eyes, he was obviously thinking about something. Don't be arrogant. There was a loud shout in the black fog, and then the 3 dark chains and black lights that were forced to retreat instantly suppressed the power of thunder. Soul-piercing thorn. A voice with shocking anger suddenly emerged from the black fog. Then above the 3 chains, where the blade was, a strange black and asterisk flashed. The traces of black and asterisk on the dark chain sword blade, with shocking killing intent, swept over 3 huge thunder pillars in an instant, and then went towards the bamboo embers behind. This time, let's see how you hide. A cold snort came from the black mist. There seems to be something strange about this person. Xu Jin was also quite surprised to find that the attack of the black mist could actually flicker over his own attack, and he immediately became vigilant, because at this time, the 3 chains had already arrived at Xu Jin. But, in my formation, I am the king. A voice containing monstrous arrogance suddenly emerged from Xu Jin's body, and a strange silver-white power instantly radiated from the body. Domain? At the next moment, a shock burst out from the originally confident black mist. Ask for tickets. End of this chapter. Continuing from the previous episode 499. Domain? The scarlet pupils in the black mist flashed a dignified taste, and then the scarlet pupils suddenly became gloomy, and a chill emerged from the black mist. Because of the powerful perception, Hei Wu can know that although it is in this thunder field array, the space in this thunder field array has not been completely closed, but when another silver-white force appeared on Xu Jin's body when the time came, the black fog clearly felt that the space of this thunder field array was directly isolated. It felt as if the 2 were imprisoned in a duel arena, and only the victor could go out. Just now, when that old Xu faced his soul-piercing thorn with a fatal blow, a touch of silver-white power erupted from his body. The moment the silver-white power just appeared, the black mist in the distance could not help but tremble slightly. Among the silver-white power, the power that is completely different from the power of thunder around Xu Jin seems to have some fluctuations like a domain. Because since the appearance of the white power, Hei Wu felt that in this thunder field array, the countless thunder and lightning that had been extremely violent had quieted down, and the space in the thunder field array was even more repulsive to him. There is a faint momentum of being repelled and swallowed by the power of this thunder. This time, is it enough? Xu Jin immediately laughed when he heard the words. All the thunder around his body was strung into his body, and then a silvery white luster appeared on Xu Jin's skin, which looked quite strange. What kind of power is this? There was a burst of anger in the black mist, and then those scarlet eyes stared at Xu Jin. At this time, Xu Jin suddenly moved the offensive in his hand, and the 3 chains that erupted from the strange black mist were instantly eroded by a trace of black energy. At this time, the strange black energy above the 3 chains has been slowly wrapped by Xu Jin with the silver-white power that is different from the past. This silver-white power surrounded the strange black qi, and then floated on Xu Lao's chest. A smell of fear emerged from the black qi. What kind of power is that? Since Shefu above the desert joined the battle, the pressure on Nudong has increased greatly, and he immediately scolded the Soul Clan, but he could only support it with gritted teeth. Is it a realm? Mobile stopped the offensive in his hand, and his pupils suddenly looked at the thunder field array in the sky. In the thunder field array, Zhu Jin's body was surrounded by silver-white power, and the strange black energy in front of his chest was compressed at an extreme speed, and the compressed volume was reduced a lot in a short time. Field? It's a little different. The real domain is like a bamboo embers formation with a radius of dozens of miles. How can there be only one body range? The Snake King also said. The realm. It seems to be true, but this bamboo embers realm has not really taken shape yet. But it's enough to deal with this mysterious man. Shefu glanced at the two of them, and then said with joy. Isn't the realm only possible for some real fighting immortals? How can this half-immortal strength in the bamboo ash area be possessed? Although his realm is not complete, it is also a real realm. Mobar shook, shaking his head. There was a dignified flash in the snake pupil. The power of the domain, Mobar, is very clear. Fighting against others in one's own domain, the superposition of one's own and the weakening of the enemy's power, is undoubtedly the most terrifying. The realm. Could it be this Zhu Jin and that Yan Kai? Shefu just spoke, but she fell silent, because she knew that this had always been a major concern for Zhu Jin. What? Mobile immediately discovered the abnormality of Shefu and spoke immediately. It's nothing. Let's subdue these Nudong people first. Once Zhu Jin has any fluctuations, we will immediately take action. After Shefu finished speaking, his figure exploded and attacked Nudong directly against the surging breath. There are quite a lot of secrets in this Zhu Jin. Mobile glanced at Zhu Jin in the sky, and then threw himself into the fight with Nudong and the others. Seeing this, Ang Dong could only support him, and then pin his hopes on the people of the Soul Clan. It really does have a taste of the realm, but your realm is only a prototype now, so it's nothing. Haiwu said in a deep voice, but there was obviously no disdain in his voice. Face. Yes or no, try it and you'll know. Among my minefield formations, you are the first one who can force me to unleash the power of the domain. Elder Zhu said lightly. Oh, yes? So honored, you are also the first human being who can see my true power. Su. Eerie and eerie laughter emerged from the black fog, and then the eerie black fog split apart instantly, turning into countless tiny black chi. At first, the black air masses had different shapes. The next moment, the split black air masses trembled suddenly, and then in front of Zhu Jin, they quickly condensed into hideous faces. On the black face, apart from a pair of extremely scarlet and demonic eyes, there is nothing else, but above the grimace, a terrifying and strange aura emerges. This is Thousand-Faced Ghosts. Zhu Jin's pupils shrank suddenly at the next link to moment www.novelmtl.com. A surprised voice sounded like a thundering thunder in the thunder field array. Thousand-Faced Ghost. This is a powerful man with a great reputation in the ghost world. It is rumored that the 1,000-year-old ghost is only a half-immortal, but in the ghost world, even the other ghosts respect the Thousand-Faced Ghost. It is said that the Thousand-Faced Ghost controls some of the ghosts in the ghost world. Secret, and the whereabouts of this Thousand-Faced Ghost are extremely mysterious, and few people can find it. According to the rumors of Zon Santian, this Thousand-Faced Ghost has really killed a fighting immortal powerhouse. That's why Zhu Jin is so solemn. Thousand-Faced Ghosts have always had a high status in the ghost world, and we, Zon Santian, have always had a saying that has been passed down through the ages. Thousand-Faced Ghosts appear, and the ghost world reappears. Elder Zhu said vaguely. I didn't expect you to be a thousand-faced ghost? Elder Zhu said after thinking for a while. Zhu Jin, I have already heard of your reputation as the first battle formation master in Xuanling Santian. Seeing you today, it really lives up to its reputation. There were thousands of voices at the same time. Why did you come today? Zhu Jin also knew the horror of this thousand-faced ghost, and immediately did not press on. I came here today just to subdue this Medusa clan, or to prove something. I don't know which one you believe in. Countless Grimace said, I have a deep relationship with the Medusa clan. Let's fight. Zhu Jin heard the words, and immediately only wanted the purpose of this 1,000-year-old ghost, and his aura suddenly skyrocketed. Su. Then let me experience the prestige of Xuanling's first battle formation master. Thousand-faced ghosts finished speaking, and thousands of ghost faces exuded strange smiles at the same time. Set a small goal first, such as 1 second to remember. Shukju mobile version reading website.